Hello there, Capricorn. I hope that the new year is treating you well. Welcome to Mountain Medicine Tarot. I'm going to go ahead and do a medicine wheel for you guys, so I'll be explaining the placements of the cards just as I go. So bear with me here as I clear my table. I only have one other table, so I have to kind of reach up there, but we'll go right in the center, which is obviously the center of you, and then we'll work around in a circle. So first one is just inner workup of you, something to keep, in mind in the center. And down here is the past, so it has to do with relationships, trust, boundaries, other people, social interactions, and it can be any time between childhood, past, and yesterday, and last month, past. So we'll see what comes up there. And then in the west, we have hibernation, so it's connected to bears. It's like going within yourself in order to find out all of your very own secrets and then fall in love with those secrets and create it into your own personal, unique person. So that's over here in the west. And then going north is connected to the stars as well as the buffalo and talks about abundance, and it's about mindset and manifestation, law of attraction, the stars in general, meditation, everything to do with that eternal Om and great mystery or God or whatever you believe is, up there. So messages from the spirit realm go there. And then we have action, which is over here in the east, which is all about the sunrise, new beginnings, the number 1 represented by the eagle, which he doesn't drive, he flies so high up in the sky that he disappears. And so legend has it that he would come back down into the place where the people could see, and he would bring messages down. And so he would convey to them messages that they needed. So he's a divine messenger. So it's kind of about if you complete the circle and you have all of your messages, then you have the action steps. So this is about physical action. Okay, so in the middle of your reading, we have the peyote ceremony, which is all about new beginnings. People don't actually use peyote that much anymore. It's actually kind of looked down on and causes all sorts of heart problems and things. So, this here is a water bird. That's the animal on here. It's actually the animal that represents the Native American church, and he stands up on his really tall legs and looks down. So he's all about self-reflection, and he's kind of digging into the rabbit hole to kind of do that self-reflection work and find out all of those secrets, that I was talking about, and just really fall in love with yourself, and then also understand your power and your personal power. So we'll go down here to the past, which sometimes can be ooey gooey, and it's connected to love and relationships. And it says the East, so perfect. Like I described, the East is about the new beginnings, so perhaps a new relationship for you, which is awesome. Or that illumination and clarity as far as what you've been asking for, what you've been getting, and how those differ, and why. So we'll see, because we'll go around the table quite a few times. So over here in the hibernation space, that bear space I was saying, is fertility. So Kokopelli is a god who would come around to the tribes people, and all of the ladies who could not get pregnant, he would play his magical flute and, offer his services, and then those ladies would have their pregnancy successful, and then it would be a powerful, other god. So people wear them as necklaces a lot of times to have babies in that, but it can be the energy can be used for anything. You can grow a brand new business, have a brand new relationship. So if you have something that's just in the works that you're thinking of that is your baby, your business, your career, your family, whatever, it's got really good fertile energy behind it. Just saying that this is fertile ground for you to plant your seeds or whatever it is. Just really uplifting, really supported energy. So that's perfect. And so we'll go up here to the north, which is the spirit realm, like I said. And we have this thunder. So this is connected to the sky. It's the bridge between the earth and sky, actually. So the lightning rod comes down, and the male and female side of the ozone and the earth, which native people would say is Father Earth and Mother Sky, come together, and they have a colossal moment. So, the lightning is all about that energy and coming together, and that male and female thing came together, so I'm thinking some babies are on the mind. Let me know. Just because in this deck, that is the only one that is those male and female sides coming together. So, it, like I said, can be fertile ground as far as new beginnings of any kind. So, just keep in mind that that's just the energy saying that you have the energy to harness. Because that lightning bolt, you know, would light up the world for a second there. So it's just to show that the energy is ready for you to call upon it. And so let's see what's going on with the new beginnings, and that is sacred space. So that's really the definition of this part over here. So going forward, just make sure you're surrounding yourself in a bright white light all the time, really enjoying your hibernation space, or your cuddle cave as I like to call it, because I'm really connected to the bears, so I use that medicine a lot, and I think of it more like your bedroom, your bed, your design, style, wardrobe, whatever that is. You know, there's power in that, and there's power in what it is that you love. And so, are you connected to the stars? Are you more rustic, earthy? Are you farmhouse modern? You know, so get in touch with that, and that's where we've got this new abilities card. So I do feel that those are connected. So I'm going to go forward with the other deck. This one is the Spirit of the Wheel, and I'll go ahead and pull one, and I'll show you also the artwork around what it is we're doing. This is the back of this card deck, and it just shows the wolf and the bear and then the buffalo and eagle, and associated with colors as well. And so your card from this deck is the Stone of Self. So kind of this same energy here where you're doing your self-reflection stuff to find your inner power. So that's going to be very important to you. For you to concentrate on is your inner self, your true self, and your potential to really create magic. It's about what you're capable of creating if you set your mind to it. So it's very, very good energy, very forward moving. You're very in control of it, so it's not like this energy surge is just going to come to you and all of a sudden things are happening and you can't change it or make decisions about it. The new abilities that they're usually talking about is, you know, manifestation. And when you get in touch with who you are as a person and what impact you'd like to make on the world, then all of a sudden you are this super ginormous key part in the overall mutation or growth of the entire planet. So I feel like there's a lot of energy surging to you, obviously. Lots of energy. So down here in the south with this illumination and clarity. Okay, so the medicine wheel has actually come out in this exact position for the majority of the signs. So it's totally interesting. It's about oneness, inner growth, and contemplation. So I think for you, it's going to be about holding hands. It's like, okay, everybody just hold hands. We're going to make sure that the earth is taken care of, or we're going to do this project, whatever that is. So I saw a video today of some sea turtles trying to give birth or whatever, hatch her eggs, and she was swimming in garbage, and I cried. Like, I just wanted to ugly cry over it because of how devastating that was. So it's a reminder also to just, you know, I don't know why that popped into my head, but the little babies were swimming, and I just felt like there was a lot of potential here as far as usable energy, and all of these energies flowing to you in this really controlled way that I just feel like you have a lot of, and you're Capricorns, that's why. I forget. Capricorns are the wise ones. They're like connected to the all-seeing eye, if you will. And so we have Gemini energy popping up here in the west. So this is all about, again, the hibernation energy, the inner work, if you will, and this is about balancing energy, honesty, and emotions. So Geminis get a bad rap just because they are the twins, and they can sometimes seem a little bit bipolar, but it's about honesty because they also have very little filter, so they kind of just say what comes up, which is totally fine. It's just keeping that honed in and being able to balance that, not in a Libra way, because the Libras are definitely balancers as well, but they're more logical mind, like needing facts and stuff, where Gemini would be the opposite, and balancing is more like something they need, because they, I don't know, because Gemini can definitely still be very organized as well, and we'll see how it goes here with the fertile energy, because I'll come back to that one once I have some more cards. So up on the north here, connected to the stars, we have the north itself, so that's wonderful. You're connected to meditation. That's definitely something that's not new to you, because we have spiritual connection, completion, and wisdom. So that's really the a good energy for you, Capricorn, because I feel like that's very descriptive of you. Capricorns tend to be connected to the stars and the earth kind of at the same time, just being able to master so many different energies in a very peaceful type way. So let's see what we can do as far as moving forward. And we'll do the sacred space in the east. So that is a little bit different. And I'll just keep shuffling until... Okay. Card for the east, please. Okay, so, beautiful. The west comes out in the east. So, it's the same energy we have here. It's going to be really important for you to do coming up here soon. So, let's see kind of what's going on, because those are kind of duplicate energy. That's duplicate energy. And then we've got moving forward, and then the card of new beginnings. So, let me grab my next deck. I've got my animal medicine deck, and that will hopefully shed some light on a little bit more on your situation. So, for the center, we'll give you an overall vibe to kind of go with for these animals to just be putting into effect January. Okay. So, we have the hawk. Okay, cool. So, duplicated of that. I mean, they're kind of duplicated. They're not exactly the same, but they're the messengers between sky and not. So, we will see what comes up as we go along and see how they connect. Sometimes you just kind of have to get all the cards on the table to make sense of it. So, we'll go down here to the south, where the relationships are, and the messengers are, and see what's going on. So, then we have cleansing, okay? So that's down here in the south. And I'll figure that out just because we've got growth and then cleansing. So, let me get some more cards out, like I said, and it'll make sense. So, I'll move into the west, which is this sacred space here. So, we'll see kind of what duality is going on, because it's right there next to Gemini, and I'm not sure what's going on with the Gemini energy, so, okay, thank you. It's about time you got a flipper. So, this one came out on its own, obviously, and this is the porcupine, and he only uses his quills when he has to. Other than that, he's actually a pretty docile animal. So, they're innocent, they just have that outer shell going on. And that's right there next to that Gemini energy that I mentioned, which is about balancing the energy and having kind of that, almost like, I don't want to say emotional freak out, but that's kind of what I'm getting. So we'll check that out. Then we have integration up here at the north. And so these are similar as well, just because the frog goes between water as he's born and then land as he walks. And so he's like this, he has this ability to transform and go between worlds. And so does the hawk and the eagle here. So I think that's going to be really powerful for you. And then alligators are a little bit more ancient, and they do that same thing, coming to and fro from the... I want to say ocean, but just water and the land. And we'll get back to that one because he has a little bit more to him. And then we have the giveaway over here. So he's been coming out a lot. You know, there's a reason that we eat Thanksgiving dinner from turkeys, and it's just this giveaway ceremony. It's a really powerful energy of Thanksgiving itself. You know, when you're thankful, you receive more. So it's a giveaway ceremony. is kind of being asked of you, and it's just a releasing of burdens. So let's see what comes out from this deck too. What I'll do is, I've got the alligator meaning, which is over there in the north, and it says, bringer of new worlds and regeneration, connected to the Little Dipper, it awakens change, so just remember to be daring. So, yeah, you've got all this power within you. You know, nobody messes with crocodiles or porcupines. The frog can just run away and the messenger can just fly away. So, there's no energy coming in that you cannot defeat, is what I'm saying. And so, let's see kind of what's going on. In the center, get you one here. Seems like really powerful energies, lots of energies. Okay, cutting cords, yeah. So something needs to be given away. Just, you know, cutting cords is something I'm going to be doing in my group. It's just called Mountain Medicine Mindset. It's a Facebook group where we come together, and I'm going to do a live video where I'll just be on this table and it'll be live, and I will just do, like, walk you through it, and you can watch the replay. I might put it on this platform too, but I do a lot of collaboration on the Mindset page, so check that out if you have the time or feel aligned. But we're going to be doing this ceremony here. So, just something to be released, give away, come back to innocence. You're on fertile ground. It seems like you're not going in the wrong direction. You just have all of this power, and it's like a reminder, like you have the power to make whatever decision is coming up for you. So then we'll get down here in the south, and this is the sacred tobacco. There's snakes in the middle, but it's the tobacco plant, and it's a sacred plant that's used way more in ceremony than it is in recreation. So it's a sacred plant that's given to the spirit realm in order to receive answers and gifts. And you know, if you think about it, just in our day and age, we're asking a lot of the universe a lot of the time to understand kind of our emotional freakouts, where we're like, okay, law of attraction, just come and, you know, help me and please. And then in old times they would, because tobacco is enjoyable, yes, and the turkey's life is obviously, he's enjoying his life, but when you give something, you're more likely to receive back. So they would go up on a hill and they would get like a pile of tobacco and say, okay, I could be smoking this, but instead, spirit world, I'm going to go ahead and offer this to you. So they would burn it and watch it burn, and then, you know, receive messages or receive enlightenment or whatever it is that they were going for on their situation, because you got the spirit's attention, right? So when you give something away, you are opening a channel. So just keep that in mind. And so we'll move into this within space, and this is where we've got the fertile ground, and then I'm kind of seeing emotions, and then this innocent energy. So I'm just wondering, and it's been kind of a common denominator in all of the readings that people are kind of getting inside of their own head. So yeah, that's kind of what this is. These little birds were squawking in the middle of the village, and, you know, some probably 500 years ago or 400 years ago. Could have been more, actually, because these are Amazonian, not North American. I forget which deck I'm using. But anyway, so they're squawking in the middle of an Amazonian village, and they're talking gibberish, and the people are like, what are you saying? So they hire the monkey and say, okay, monkey, you're the logical brain, so come here and tell us what they are saying. And so Monkey told them about boats and shining armor and, you know, the colonials, and the people did not have any idea what they were saying. And then once the people landed, these birds were able to say, I told you so. You already know, I already told you this, and the people just simply did not understand. So it's kind of about hearing a message over and over again, but it's also kind of, I don't know, because it's a sweet energy. I don't feel like anyone's purposely upset or anything. It's almost kind of like pregnancy hormones. It doesn't have to be. So if you're worried about that, then reach out to me, or, you know, do what you gotta do. Let me read the birds. No, okay. I just had on there the story that I told you. So, yeah, that's just their meaning of just like not being able to internalize the words. So let me know. I definitely don't want that to be inside of your space. So I want you to be doing this work just because that's, you know, we've got the twins and then we've got Gemini, which is twins. So I'm not sure why they chose an elk for Gemini. But, you know, it's just balancing emotions, and then you have these that are yin-yang looking. So a little bit of duality going on, but just know that it's within you, and it looks to me like there's just some burdens to go away, and your clarity is actually coming from either the past and then cycles. So cleansing yourself of this will lead you to more of that. So the fertility comes from you respecting your sacred space. The cycles that are going on looks like in your relationship sector, for some of you, you just need to release and cleanse, because the frog is all about going and cleansing, because he has like that waxy skin, right? So things just roll right off his back, and so you can utilize that energy anytime. And it's a very earthy energy, a very watery energy, so I think that'll be very good. Actually, the collective message for all of 2018 for everybody on planet Earth has been to connect to water and earth, and then water again, and then earth again. The earth just kind of needs that from us, and once you do that and be giving and receiving kind of at that same time, you know, like this plant where you go burn it instead of smoke it, just figuratively, and you don't have to burn or get rid of your things. It's more about your emotions and vibes, because the earth wants our vibes to be a little bit more steady. So, and deliberate as well. Be a deliberate creator as far as law of attraction. So if you're not familiar with that, just reach out to me, because I do counseling or consulting, whatever, too. So, and that's just on that mindset page on Facebook. So if you've got one of those, check it out. Then these two popped out for you. We have the alligator again, so that's pretty crazy. We already read his meaning, and I'll do it again. He's the bringer of new worlds, so it's kind of about this where the water bird is diving into the rabbit hole to find his new abilities within himself. I'll say that again, within themselves. And we have the self again. So that's, and then again. So it's within you, whatever it is, and just know that you have all of this power and this skill to go kind of between worlds, to open portals, if you will. Guided meditations on YouTube, going through your dream journals, just journaling in general. Being in touch with your emotions is just going to do that water and earth energy. So it does the grounding work for you, and then this cleansing stuff will start happening once you tap into that energy. So if you haven't already, look into like star seeds or indigo children, rainbow warriors, that type of thing. So I do feel like that energy is around you. And so the next one that popped out is this deer man. He's duality too. He's about forgiving your enemies, or forgiving the people who are in our experience that just no longer serve us. Maybe, you know, there's some release work to do there. And it's regeneration, sacrifice, keeper of heart, matters, and compassion. He's wisdom without conflict, the eternal Om, an open heart, awareness of other struggles, and the ability to bless enemies. So just keep that in mind as you move into this sector, which is the action step, which is asking you to just kind of build a teepee around yourself and go in it, and then find out what needs to go away. So releasing, and then once you step out, you just feel that much better. So let's see. It looks like you're still, you're looking for messages maybe as far as relationships go, and Spirit is silly. It won't respond unless we do the things that it asks. So if you've been asked, you know, figuratively or not, to do one thing or another with this bird calling energy, Just make sure you're taking and absorbing everything that comes into your experience, and be gentle with yourself, and understand that, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So it's your potential and your ability to lift the weight and then, dump it off of you or whatever it ends up being. So right here in the action step, with all of this giveaway energy, is the ball game. So this little game is on Road to El Dorado. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but it's a little kids show that's kind of cute. And so the game was like the commonplace or the marketplace or whatever, and they would kind of like close it off gladiator style, and then people use their hips with this rubber ball that's solid rubber, so it was probably like several pounds. And then these are up in the walls, so it's like a basketball hoop. And they have only their hips, and it's almost a game of life or death, almost. So the gods are involved, the hierarchy is involved. It's an interesting dynamic, but it just reminds you to utilize the gods, because that was kind of the point, was, whose prayer is strongest, who's going to last the longest type of thing, which a little bit barbaric, but you see what I mean, where, the challenge presents itself, it hurts like hell, but it's not a struggle, because you have all these wings, and all of this ability to swim as well, like all of the elements are here. So let's just go ahead and read the ball game, or ball court. So it talks about challenges and a game played with gods, like I mentioned. It's almost a series of life and death, like I mentioned, and it says, pay attention to crowds and others, and play your game honorably, so not against yourself. Interesting. So, let me think, because play your game honorably kind of stands out. So, about giving away, so it's parts of yourself, just be very, not even cautious of your emotions, just very in tune with them. Maybe just look up the energy of Gemini, because there's good energy there too, and that looks like something you can really, harness and wrap around as you're doing this inner work. It might end up being like your moon sign or rising sign or something like this that you didn't realize. Or, I don't feel like it's outer energy though. I feel like it's just the essence of Gemini to keep in mind, and then just this integration, because you've got the ability to dive from the deepest part of the ocean, to land, and then to sky. So just don't limit yourself. And to do that, you let things go. And it doesn't have to be a scary thing. And if you'd like help with that, cutting cords, just comment on this video.